podcast, Picks and Perspective with Chrys Johnson. Palpable paradox.
What's happening?
Yo, early bird. Love it.
Bro, they have me doing so many of these like Zoom interviews and shit. I'm just like, man, just turn the shit on and just be there all the time.
I'm just gonna have a 24/7 stream from my bedroom. Sorry if you see me changing. Yeah. The new EP, it's great. Oh, the new guitar. Oh yeah, it's great, man. So yeah. Anyway, shit.
I'm over here like, where's the cookies at, bro? I don't got time for this right now.
Let me put some pants on. Wait, do I have to put pants on for this? You guys can't see it. Oh man,
how are you, bro? How are you?
I'm super good, dude. I'm super good, and it's like incredible to be here right now talking to you under these circumstances, right? Because I've just been I was sitting here making some notes, and I'm like, this is like my third year anniversary of the podcast, right? So
okay,
and I got a thing with threes, and so like right about now or actually a couple weeks ago, I guess, is when I would have released it. My first couple of episodes and stuff, and this is episode 99.
Hey!
Right? So 99, and we got 9 shit to talk about. So
yeah, I was just about to say, I got a thing with 9s. So
I know,
this is great.
Kind of fucking works. And I was thinking like, okay, well, how did my relationship with Josh come together, right? And I was thinking, I can't remember exactly, but I want to say maybe Paul DeMaio, like, because I think he was the one like, oh man, Tony Danza, oh dude, fucking Glass Cloud. And I was like, yeah. And then I don't know if he hooked us up or if, I don't know. Do you remember the first contact at all?
I want to say Paul definitely had something to do with it, like, but I mean, at the same time, I really can't remember because this goes all the way back to EMG days. And yeah. I remember EMG was like the first endorsement that I ever had, ever. So it was, and I dealt with you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I don't know if Paul was there yet. I think Paul might have came in maybe shortly after that when I started getting into guitars. Exactly.
That's what it was. He was he was working with Strictly 7 and you had a guitar with them.
Yeah.
Oh
exactly.
Man. Wow.
We go way back.
That's and I was looking at the date. I was looking, well, that's 10 years. That's at least a decade right there.
Yeah, at least. It's probably over that. Yeah.
Man. And then it was shortly, I don't even know what was going on exactly. Was there a 9-string involved at Strictly 7? Or was it 7 strings and 8 strings back then?
I'm pretty sure it was 7s and 8s, but the big deal was those were my first like custom guitars, basically, because I had tried to get Ibanez to make something, didn't work out, and then Jim was kind of where me and like getting into speccing guitars ever like initiated. It was with Jim, and he taught me like a lot of that stuff from way back then. And fast forward a bit, I don't remember where the first 9 came in. That's like so weird to say. I don't remember.
It wasn't Legator?
I know it was, but I had a friend, Shannon Cotton. Shannon built me one.
Shannon's the man.
Yes, Shannon is the man. And
okay.
He built me a custom, but you and I had started talking, and I was like, yo, I think I'm going to have some 9 strings happen. And you're like, yeah, I might be able to make something happen. And then you built me the first EMG 909.
Yeah.
And then just to make it even more sick, I'll never forget this, dude. I'm sitting here playing these guitars with these EMGs in them. I'm freaking out like, yeah, these are sick. I'm stoked on them. And one day you just texted me and you were like, check your mail in a couple days. I'll go. Sure enough, I checked the mail in a couple days, and you had then made a 909X. You didn't even ask me, tell me nothing. Just check your mail in a couple days. I go out there, and then now there's the world's first 909X, and this has just been it. Like ever since then, and that's just how you are. You're like, check the mail. I don't know. Just check the mail. I don't know.
Dude, it's an honor. It's an honor and a pleasure to do it with so many badass artists, but you in particular, because our vibes just mixed right away. I saw what you were up to, and I was like, how? I mean, I just gotta like use my leverage to support this dude doing something different, right? Because
Right.
that's the I mean, one of the beauties about like what you do, it's not just another 7, 8, 9 string dude like genting away. You have fucked up formulas for how these strings go together and how these intervals go together. And man, I'm a fan of anybody that goes, I can't do the regular thing. I can't do it. I got to do my own thing, you know? And
right.
so when I see that, if I have the leverage to invest in that, to be on the edge with you, you know, then I'm going to show up, you know?
Yeah, and that's what it's been all of these years. Because I've never really been like, okay, let's do it exactly how it's supposed to be done or what the book says. And it's like, I don't know. On one side of that book, it's kind of like, damn, I wish I just would have like learned how they all do it. Like when you open the book and you're like, this is what it is. Okay, and give me an E chord. You tell me to give you an E chord. I'm gonna turn on the tuner. I'm gonna find an E, and then I'm gonna try to make a chord with it. that's me and an E chord. I don't know any of that stuff. So it's been cool just messing with stuff, seeing how you can make things happen. But like since over a decade ago, we just been over here messing with stuff.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome, man.
And do you think thankful to the universe that it's continued to like come back together, right? Like I know at Dunlop, in between EMG and now at Kiesel, like we did some custom strings, and you still get custom strings from those guys, right?
Yeah.
To
this day.
Yeah. So, and I know I don't remember the specifics. I'm a little cloudy in the brain, but I do remember, us going through a couple of different iterations, because I think we had to do a special taper. Was that right?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know whose idea that was, right?
No. Was that mine?
Yours. Yeah. You were like, yo, have you ever tried to take? Because we kept talking. I was like, something about this low string doesn't feel right because it's pretty big, you know, and like. I'm not into crazy big strings. I'm not into high tension. I like to be able to bend at least a step to a step and a half on every single string, no matter what. And you were like, you ever tried a tapered string? I was like, a what? You're like, a tapered string. I'm like, I don't even know what that means, bro. And you're like, here's what we're gonna do. You said, I'm gonna put your taper up at the top at the nut. I'm gonna put your taper down at the bridge. I was like, I still don't know what that means, but show me. And you sent it, and I never went back. Never again. Never again. It's exactly what it needed to be, because it's just right, and it bulks up where it needs to, and then it tapers back down where it needs to. So it's like you got that distance that's like, this is where I need the real meat and potatoes at, is right here. Everything else needs to be normal, and I haven't gone back. Not yet. I won't do it. I'm not changing. No.
That's so cool. Well, shout out to Dunlop Strings and Jimmy Dunlop and the crew over there.
Absolutely.
They hold it down. And that's the super cool shit right
Hell
there. I'm so glad that that's still, and it's funny because, you know, it's easy to, like I said, I get foggy on the specifics sometimes, because I have the pleasure of working with such a dense population of dope people. I'm like, did we do a string for, we did a thing. We did like 7 things that week, you know? And so I do remember it had to be tapered, and that's usually kind of the defining factor around these extended range. And that's one of those things that people take for granted, bro. Like, and I know you know this because you play extended, like definite way extended lengths, right? And so, and you're not even fanning the frets on your shit. Like so that it's this longer ask for a string company to sort it out. And then when you go that far down, it's not just a baritone scale length, but we're also talking about very carefully thought out graduated gauges. And then we sort out this kind of this taper stuff, right? So, and that's like that came from the bass world, right? Doing especially the taper, how they taper their strings down at the tuning peg, but also at the key, sometimes they'll do it like it's a piano, what do they call it, a piano taper that's down by the bridge. That, I guess that's like, because if you look at inside a piano and you're like, oh, how do they get their big gauges essentially wound up, is partly because they taper down like that. But
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and
Hey,
dude, I'm
we're borrowing from everybody. Okay.
that's right.
Yeah, I need the help.
Yeah, I mean your
Or you know
instruments,
what we could do?
huh?
We could just tune in standard E and it would be over.
Oh
But
man.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Let's just go at least an octave below that. That's fine though. We can still do standard E.
Standard
That's
E's
fine.
cool, bass cool, bro. Just way, way, way down there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I need the other standard E. Yeah,
yeah.
that one.
That's why it's closer to piano vibes in a way, piano like bass
Yeah.
vibes, right? Because so many octaves available on those instruments.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So, well, while we're talking about the Dunlop vibe, I would like to ask you about your history with guitar picks, right? So, like, where did it start? Like, what do you remember about your first couple of guitar picks? And like, did anybody influence you? Was there anybody that was like, oh, young Padawan, this is the way, and handed you something? Or
Yeah.
like, how did it develop? And then
So
did you try some stuff out? And are you still playing the same thing, or why do you play what you play now?
I did. I feel like you generally start off with like I'm gonna call it the normal pick. It's like, you know, something like any normal Tortex, you know, anything like that. You know, it's just now these days I call them Doritos because they're to me they're huge. Like they're massive picks, so they're like to me that's just like a Dorito. And like we played those forever, kind of thin picks. Like, you know, if I had to guess, it'd probably be something around, God, dude, I don't know, maybe like a .55. Like we're talking light.
Ooh,
Like these were light, and this was before I was really tuning down low, where I needed like a more stiff of a pick. So this was like a while back, and again, these were like the normal size picks. And the dude that got me really into playing guitar, like the the reason why I quit playing drums and playing guitar. So in the band that I was playing drums in with his name's Nate, and watching him play guitar was like so inspirational and like just motivating. I didn't want to play drums anymore, so I quit playing drums. While we're in this band together, I quit playing drums, and I said, "You got to teach me how to play guitar." And he's like, "All right, I guess we got to try to find a drummer, but I guess I can try to teach you how to do this." And they played 7 strings at the time, so that's what I learned on. I didn't have a 6 string till so many years later, and so they're playing like these normal. No, I'm again Dorito picks. They're normal, but they're big ass picks, pretty light. So I started there, and I guess when I kind of really started picking up on guitar and like really learning things about it, and you know, learning and developing my technique in playing, at this point, Nate started playing Jazz 3 picks, and you know, Jazz 3s have been around for a long time, so he started playing Jazz 3 picks, and I'll never forget. He put one of those in my hand. He's like, "All right, now play." Took me a long time to be like, okay, I get this pick because I'm used to like flailing with a big ass pick. You know, I'm just all over the place. No, not paying any attention to technique or anything I'm doing. I'm just getting after it. After about 2 weeks playing with this Jazz 3, I started like really paying attention to how I'm playing. And then you'll notice on your picking hand that you don't have nearly as much pick, you know, to even play with anymore. You know, and I already choke up really high on a pick. So then I started noticing that my right hand is like way more focused. Like you're being way more deliberate and attempting to be way more accurate with it. And that was it. I have never played anything other than Jazz 3 since then. And now I'm playing .88s. So it's like definitely way more stiff. But, you know, when I'm seeing people playing like 1.0s and up, I'm like, you trying to like break a house down with that thing? Like, what are you doing? Those things are massive to me.
so you're on the green Tortex,
and
right? Then it's green Tortex then.
Mhm.
Okay, and are they
Yep,
custom printing
exactly.
some for you out there?
Exactly.
Then you got some custom prints?
I've never done that because I didn't never know what to put on them, so I've never done them before.
Oh,
but
bro.
I mean, it's come up multiple times. Like,
Okay.
do you want a custom pick? I'm like,
follow up.
What am I gonna
Zoom
put on
session.
it?
We're gonna put Joshua Travis with your cute little face right on there. You know, something. Well, you draw up a little cartoon with you smiling big, bro.
Right.
With your guitar, dog. I'll
Yeah.
put that right on a pic for you. Send it out. APB.
Done. Yo,
ASAP.
ship it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's easy, man. And we can do the same do the same green gauge in white and black also. So you could switch up the color if you want to do something like that.
Cool. See, I don't even think about this stuff. I'm more worried about, dude, I can't play with a pick that is sharp enough to cut paper. I can't do it. And I roast these picks. I mean, we get maybe 3 songs out of this thing. I'm roasting these picks. So there is just pick shrapnel everywhere. It's just everywhere. You know, as soon as you jump on one of those, especially with these big ass strings, and you're that pick is just filing down. So I run through a lot of picks. I run through a lot. So
I'll have to
that's
send you a
another thing to
big
think
bag.
about. You want custom picks? Yeah, exactly.
Send you a big bag, extra large. How we do it? Well, that's cool. So was that first Jazz 3? Do you remember?
Man.
Was the first Jazz 3 that you got, was it a Tortex or was it one of those red ones, like a nylon style?
I think that it wasn't one of the nylons, but there was a point when I tried the nylons out. I'm not about the nylons. Something about
thick.
that just feels weird. Yeah, like feels. But I'll tell you this though, there is some I don't know what I'm gonna call it, like perforation or something on it that makes it way harder to drop. So I like that. But then we came up with this other thing. You just take your pick, you take a knife, and you just cut 3 little lines this way, and then flip it, and cut 3 little lines the exact opposite way. And now it kind of grabs onto your, it's weird, but it kind of grabs onto your flesh a little bit when you're picking. Again, it's way harder to drop, but there's something about that little extra grip that just is awesome. But I'm not about to sit here and cut these 6 lines into 254,000 picks. I'm not going to do that. So, but it's a really cool little hack, though. It is pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. Well, did you ever try any of the flow picks with the grips? Did you ever try any of those?
I don't think so.
Is it what before
I don't even think I've heard of those.
Oh man, I am fucking up. I'm a horrible friend. I'm a horrible friend. I'll send you a care pack, because there's
okay.
So one of the first picks that I did with Dunlop was the Animals as Leaders prime tone pick, and it's this one here. It's this kind of, the original one was root beer brown, and it's got a bit of it's Voltex, and it's got a grip right in the center of it. It's got their logo. Okay. And so in prime tone, we'd already been doing a cool grip, and so we just kind of incorporated their logo into this particular grip. But then we did with Andy James and John Petrucci, we launched the flow picks. This is a few years back now, but and their particular picks don't have their flow picks don't have grip on them. They have just designs on them, right? But the geometry on these is a slightly less drastic Jazz 3 tip. So it's a little wider at the tip, which is kind of cool, because when you choke up, that little bit of extra width kind of keeps you above the strings in the right way. You don't sink too far into it, just naturally, which is super sick. But the whole line comes with gripped versions. So Dunlop makes a 73 and an 88 with a grip that's it's got a little tackiness to it already built in. So if you can, I'll have to send you a few to try out, and if you can get along with the material, we might have a new pick for you. I'm just saying, but hey, if you don't like it, toss it to the side.
That's pretty cool, because if it's still a .88, that's my spot, because you still got like the tiniest bit of give on a .88, just a little bit. But I guess if it's still got that edge to it, but it's like also a little thicker, like that could be cool, because it's really just about the point of contact. Like I try not to really play into my strings, try to finesse the strings, more than like trying to rip through them so much. And so, which was where thick picks was always just like brutalizing the strings. That's why it's like, I don't know about like really, really thick ones, but I'm definitely down to check that out. And I do know what you're talking about with like having the picks that have that kind of grip on them already, but the only ones I ever played, they were like, it like indented where the grip was. Like it feels like it like a
big
sunk
stubby,
in,
the purple ones.
That's the only one. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was
Yeah.
called. Yeah, that's what it
Big
was.
stubby. Yeah, yeah.
Nah, that's not the pick for me.
Those are super popular in small groups. Like I know Tony McAlpine was on those for a long time, the 3.0s. Neely Brosh is still on the
Good
2.0s. Like,
Lord.
but they actually updated that pick too. Just to plug that one, they updated that one recently into a series called the Flow Gloss. And so it's a better shape. It's the flow shape, and it has a little indentation, but it has the has print on inside the indentation. So there's a little bit of tactile feel when you're, but again, if you, some people feel that little indent and they're like, no way, dude, it's not my thing. And you may get some of these picks that I send you and you're like, the material might not be a problem, but the edge. So there's a difference between Tortex is a process where they have the shape and they stamp it out of a big sheet, right? So they have the sheet there of the colorant. It's already colored and everything. They stamp it out, and then it comes. And so by doing that, like a cookie cutter, it creates kind of a harsh edge, right? And then they have to toss it in a tumbler and let it kind of take the harshness off the edge. It still feels like a nice edge, though. When you pick up one of those fresh picks, you've got a little bit of a rounded square edge. And some people, without knowing it, are addicted to that, the way that sounds on the strings. So if I send you some of these molded picks, the flow picks that are molded with the grip, they've been engineered for quickness, right? So and softness and finesse around the string. So maybe they're your thing, but they're quicker. They have more release on the strings because of the way the bevel is. It's not a hard edge. It's a molded. Here's a fat example that I would send you just because, but this is the 420 pick. It's a 4.2. All right. It's a look, but you can see how accentuated the bevel is, right? But if you take that down, that type of bevel down to an 88, you don't notice. I mean, it's different. There's flex in the pick. This is rock solid. This is not going anywhere. But people like, matter of fact, Tony McAlpine ended up switching over from the 3.0 big stubby to the Flow 420. When I handed it to him, he was like, oh damn, like he was like, send me a bag. I'm like, okay. So and Mike, was it Mike Keneally? I showed him the 420 pick and he's like, I don't want to play anything else. That's incredible. Everybody's different, right? Like meanwhile, some people pick that up and they're like, get that away from me. Get it away from me. I don't. That's
I'm like seeing it like I can't even touch that. Like I feel like if I had that in my hand, my guitars would be looking at me like, excuse me?
What? It's fun.
What do you think you're doing?
You should put that down, bro. Put it down.
Right.
Yeah. There's no guns allowed in here, dog. There's no guns. Only here.
Right. Oh man.
So
I'd definitely be down to try them out. Definitely.
Yeah, man, I would love to. And I'll send you a little care pack of extra stuff too. I'll send you like the Meshuggah pick that we did with Frederick Thorntonall. Like this, it's got a bunch of threes on it. You can't really see it. It's black on black on black. But it's like it's a very cool pick. And it's like a 9.91, I think. I think we did it with Delrin. And it's got a cat tongue grip on it. That's and anybody that plays this style of music should have a Meshuggah pick within reach. You know what I mean? Like we all owe the gods of gent, right? We to some degree, right?
I'm not gonna lie. I never knew that there was a Meshuggah pick. I never knew this. So obviously I have to try it. I have to.
Yeah. It's fine.
Like, period. I need to try that more than anything else. Dude. I got to try that first. That's the first one.
I'll put that one right on the top of the pile. Okay. And then everything else. Yeah. Cause we did this probably 3-4 years ago. And it was cool because Frederick, he's a 3 guy and like he'd been using 1.0 nylon, switching between 1.0 nylon and 1.0 max grip. He would use mostly max grip in the studio because the max grip is like super cat tongue. And I've got a Matt Hafey signature Jazz 3 that I'll send you to. You actually might like that pick. No, it's probably too thick, but you probably might dig the. I don't know where the hell it's floating around here somewhere, but that one you'll see the difference. Oh, there it is. We did a gold Matt Hafey pick with some kanji on it, which is pretty cool. And that grip is super cat tongue. So I guess I digress. The thing that was important to Frederick was that he kept the flexibility of the kind of 0.9 1.0 type of nylon style / Delrin pick. Actually, we didn't do Delrin. This is a nylon with a carbon fiber like mixed in for stiffener. I think that's what we did. But
like literally carbon fiber, literally.
Yeah, not carbon fiber. It's a fiberglass stiffener that we put into, and we did it. I think we do it with a lot of nylon picks. And I don't know the details. I can't reveal the trade secrets. That's why they don't let me know the actual things. So I'm out here,
right.
Blah blah blah. I have no idea the exact amounts or what's going on, but it was cool to go back and forth and make a few different little designs or a few different grip depths for Frederick on this. And the design itself ended up coming out because he's a 33 guy. And we ended up with, if you look real deep into this pick, get your eyeglasses on, your spectacle on, you'll see that like there's all these little 3-3s in there, and there's 3 rows of 3-3s. And then the inner row of 3 is actually 3-3s, not just 33. And then the word Meshuggah is 9 letters, right? 3-3s,
right.
And on the other side, Dunlop USA is 9 letters, 3. It came out like mathematically, it came out like magical, and I was like, how did we do that? Because there was a lot of people that were involved in getting this design together, and at the end of the day, I was like, well, that's just the way it was supposed to be. It couldn't be any other way.
Yep, 100%.
I'll send you a couple cool things then. And like I said, I'm sorry for being such a horrible friend and not sending you these things 100 years ago.
I'll let it slide this time. It's fine. It's fine. This one's fine. Hey, I'm stoked to try that thing out. It's really close to what I already play anyways. Now, I don't ever play nylon. Now, I don't know why. I think a nylon without some kind of a grip on it, I'm going to drop it no matter what. Other than that, I guess if there was a nylon that had a grip that wasn't super huge, I might be able to get behind that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to try it out and see. I'm gonna have to try it out.
There is, the thing is with, but like Frederick's pick is a standard size pick, right? It's not like a tortilla chip like huge one, but it's in comparison to a J3, it's gonna, it's a regular size. Hafey's pick is a standard Jazz 3 size. The flow picks are a little smaller than normal and a little bigger than Jazz 3. So they're kind of somewhere in between the two. So, that could be a determining factor for you as well. But yeah, I digress. Like, to be continued in the pick conversation for sure. To see if there's a Mo Betta situation for you, and if nothing else, you got Old Faithful, right? So you always come back.
Yeah, the whole thing with the pick was big picks. Anything bigger than a Jazz 3 is a big pick to me. And I think for me, with anything bigger than that, I choke up on it so high that there's a ton of pick left, hanging above my thumb anyways. Yeah. So that's why I was kind of like, the Jazz 3 was like, yeah, that's my spot. Then I don't have a ton of pick hanging up here and doing weird stuff,
And do you ever tuck the pick for tapping or anything? Like,
nope.
No.
No, I don't. I'd always keep it right there in its spot, because it's so small that I don't even have to. It's like, as soon as I have to, jump to, any kind of tapping thing, it's still tucked more than enough, because they're so small. Like, I don't know how well you'll see this, but.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's barely peeking out there when
you see how there's like nothing hanging out.
Yeah, I dig it. Well, that might be hard to beat.
Tiny spot. That's it. Right, right.
Green.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Like something a little more than that may work. If it was just slightly bigger than that, that may work. But a normal size, there's no way. I'd never pull it off. Oh, look at yo. Look at Chris. Still recording. Camera broken. What's up, everybody? It's JT. I'm taking over the podcast. Now we're going to talk about cookies. We're going to talk about what kind of milk you would like to use with the cookies. I prefer a vanilla almond milk over all milk. And
Are you there?
What up?
Oh, did I just disappeared for a second there?
Yeah, your internet gave up. It was tired of hearing about the picks.
Apparently. Okay, I think we're back. I think we're good. I hope. You're freezing up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, now you're moving. All right. Dude, good thing it's not live and good thing.
I can't see you at all.
Come on.
Yeah, see what you did here?
What did I do?
I took over the podcast for a second while you were while there were some issues. I just took over everything, and we got into almond milk.
Can you see me now?
Yep, you're just yeah. There you are. Now you're in here. Hey, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It could be me. Dude, this is a whole other thing. We got a storm going on right now. So it could be my internet being weird from that. And I was able to get to FedEx today and get the shipment out before everything turned into a blizzard. I was able to do it.
Damn,
I was
bro.
doing this on the highway like, okay, we're doing like 45 miles an hour on the highway. I can't see but maybe 5 feet in front of me. So here we go. But I made it.
Damn. That's the kind of weather. Yeah. I mean, that's real weather out there. We're out here in California. We're just like, it's a little chilly today. It's a little chilly. I better put on a sweatshirt.
Right. And even it's like 75. Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah. It's gonna be high 60s or low 70s today. You know, it was a little windy the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Got scared for a second.
Oh.
It sounded scary
it was
outside.
windy here too. We had three
trees fall over.
It was pretty windy.
Shit. Yeah. 3 towns completely devastated. Fuck.
It's so real, bro. It's so real,
dude.
Man.
Well, I want to say congratulations on the single drop. This Web of Lies track is sick, dude. Good job.
Thank you,
That's
bro.
badass.
Thank you.
And this is, can we talk about that you're going to be dropping more soon? Is that what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got another single dropping next week, right?
Yes, sir. I'm like
what's the next
stoked
one?
To be I guess just putting out my own stuff, which is really weird for me because to some degree, I feel like everything I put out is my own stuff.
Right.
It's different if I was writing this stuff with a band full of people, but it's just me just writing stuff. And so every time I put out anything, no matter what band it's with, it always feels like my stuff. And I'm featuring vocalists. That's what it always feels like. Now, when we put it out as a band, I don't ever really talk about it like that. It's always like, no, this is my band. But this stuff is there was no parameters that I had to kind of live within to create this stuff. It was just kind of I can do whatever I want. So let's rewind the tape to 1997 to 2004. Let's go there. That was the vibe I wanted to go with, very old school, very raw, noisy, unedited, unpolished, just nasty. You remember when metal was dangerous? You remember when metal was they didn't really. You know what I'm saying? It's before it was how much can we make this sound good, and how before it was how can we make this almost feel cinematic? I'm talking pre all of that. Just when it was just a bunch of people just jamming and it was just sick. That was the vibe I was going for. I didn't want all of the bells and whistles and all of that stuff. We got some stuff sprinkled in there, but ultimately it was I want everything to be loud. I want everything to be clipping. I want everything to be in the red, and let's just go for it. That's it.
That's sick. Yeah, no, I do remember the era, and I think on that tip, I think maybe I would put you with like Glass Cloud, Tony Danza, and different, and just seeing you live in general with any of your acts, like I put you in the same category of dangerousness, like, you know, or dangerous, like live act feeling, dangerous music with like Dillinger Escape Plan, right? Like that was one of the bands that came along, right? I mean, they're like at a absolute supreme place, right? Because they've been doing it for so long, and like there's that one video, right? You like, you know, like there's that one video where they're at the Virgin Megastore or something, right? Like, and everybody's seen this thing, where bro just starts walking heads like right off the first thing. You're like, oh, I'm scared, and I'm up behind the screen, and that was a bunch of years ago, but I'm scared right now. Like, how do you not? You don't walk. What? That's not okay. But like that's the vibe I got when I will see Glass Cloud. Like you guys just like, because you really brought it live in such a heavy way, you know, and it was so dynamic and fun. And I mean, yeah, like dangerous music was a thing. Now we stay home and we're scared of everything, you know? So, which I can't,
everything's gotta be perfect. And
yeah, we're scared of everything.
Yeah, I'm not even when I do records now where it's like, you know, we go for like a more polished sound, like I still keep any of my tracking is always just hit record. And like and a lot of my stuff, probably all of it, if you really sit there and listen to it, you'll hear me fuck up all over the place. Like, and ultimately it's because I am human, and I can assure you, if you come see me live, I'm gonna fuck up there too. So what I go for is to just get the best take. Yeah, I literally promise you, I'm gonna mess up. I'm not really so much sitting here trying to like deliver a clinic as much as I'm like trying to have fun. You know, like get in my vibe, whatever it may be. But it's never to be like, this has to be perfect. You know, like I don't care about that. Like I wanna have fun. I wanna like all of us to have fun. You know what I mean? And like. So when I have to track my stuff for like a record that has to be, you know, closer to nail all of the parts perfectly, I still won't, but I always one take things, like whatever it is, it's just give me a pass. And, you know, if I don't feel real good about it, well, we're going to pass it again. And like, that's just it. You know, like I don't disagree with editing, but I don't want to, you know, like, could it sound better if we did? Absolutely. I don't care. Like,
it sounds like you're interested in
let's do it.
Sounds like you're kind of interested in the truth of the matter. I mean, you know what I mean? Sounds like you're going
to say it, but you said it.
Yeah. So it appears one would denote from what you're saying that you're like, you know, the truth is, this is how it is. Right? Because all of us 100%. Can sit back here and go click, click, click. No. Hey guys, I'm super clean. It's like airtight. You know, we're at that point in history where even on your phone, you can like edit things down. I mean, like everybody's got the ability. Essentially, you just got to figure out the know-how.
Yeah.
And you know, if that's the way the project is supposed to be presented, if that's the genre and that's the way you want it, there's nothing wrong with that. But when it's guitar and you're slinging, you know, riffs, and you're slinging like heavy grooves, you know, and I'm a fan of it being dangerous. And that's part of what, like, if you go back and you listen to Zeppelin, right, the Zeppelin live shit, right, like in Sabbath live, right, they were dangerous. They were not perfect, far from it, actually. But we were like, that's the heaviest, most ingenious thing that's ever been created, you know, for generations, like, right. And we've been inspired by that thing. And what's funny is that metal music and heavier music has kind of piled it on, like, oh, well, we have to do bigger, better, more. So, okay, we got to get it tighter, more, and all this stuff. And so there's a point, and it kind of ebbs and flows, right? Like you see like waves of bands, you know, tightening it up and laser focus editing all the things and pulling the air out of it. And then that gets rebelled against. And there's guys, Josh Travis puts another album out and everyone's like, fuck, how does it sound so organic and 10 miles wide? Why, how, what? I don't want to play a 9-string. I don't know how to play a 9-string. You know, I don't even those chords don't
Right,
exist on
right.
my guitar, right? So everybody's got to like figure out, go back to
Exactly.
the drawing board and figure it out again when they hear somebody like you
Yeah.
play, because it's another thing. It's kind of taking that, all the modern technology and stuff, but and a crazy instrument, and still doing Led Zeppelin,
Hmm.
still doing Black Sabbath, but for
Like,
2022.
bro, there's something about the editing where you really can like really lock and latch everything exactly where it needs to go. Boom, 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 boom. You play it back and it's like, God, this is so tight. And then you have the other side of it where it's 100% organic, just somebody playing what they're playing. And when that person locks it in, no editing will ever feel like that.
Mm.
It's got a whole feel on its own, and it's like when you're the person playing it, like even for me, like I'll make a groove, some kind of groove that gets a little kooky in there, and I'll be playing it, and I'm not locked in at all. I'm just learning the feel of the riff, not spending the time learning the riff. I don't really honestly care what the riff is. What matters is what does the riff feel like. And so
Mm.
once I sit there and I have really become one with what the feel is supposed to be, then the riff just comes together. And then the more and more I play it, the more it really starts to settle in. And then before you know it, you are jamming this riff and you're like in another place and you're so locked in. Nothing feels like that. I don't care how much editing you do and how precise you get it. There is a push-pull organicness with no editing. That's what I'm always after, because that feel, you get that push, you get that drag, that you can kind of replicate that in editing nowadays because you can actually make things waver. It's like humanizing. So why humanize when you are already a human? You can just play it. You know what I mean? And that's really what it's all about for me, is like it's all about that feeling of everything. Like, and which is why I kind of steer away from being more tech now, because for one, I already did that and I'm like more interested in finding other things to explore in audio and soundscapes and atmospherics. And now I'm kind of like pull away from the tech and get more inside of the parts and just watch them come to life, because the more that you sit there and play it, sometimes you start feeling new things and other ideas start popping up in your head. And it's like, if you're just sitting there editing everything, that's where you're at now. Okay, now all this is edited, what's next? And I just like to sit and just groove on things and like just let them grow how they want to grow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I love you describing that kind of sinking into the riff and finding the sweet spot on that. That's something that my drummer and I, Jeremy, like for years when we were in the band up in Seattle and stuff, like it was kind of one of the things that we would always stop and be like, especially if you find a drummer that, and a guy like you's played with a lot of great drummers, but like in my world, it's like drummers are like if you find the one that you actually like vibe with, then that's like what, so super sick. And my dude Jeremy, like we both come from a similar background and school of thought around stuff, and so like initially we're like, no click tracks, man, fuck that. And then like we did our first couple recordings together and we're like, maybe we should use a click track every once in a while, like, or just the tempo map or something, something to keep it, because the last riff is a little bit faster than the first time we did it. And so like then we went through a phase of writing music. No, everything's got to be tempo mapped, everything. So we tempo mapped everything, and then we went to go record that particular record, and we got through most of it pretty well. Like we're really glad that we did that. But it's funny because the last riff of the album was kind of this kind of Meshuggah rip-off thing that we're kind of palindromic like thing. And the producer and engineer was just like, how come this riff doesn't sound nothing like when I saw you in rehearsal? And we're like, well, we couldn't figure this. This is the only one we couldn't figure out like how to make it sound natural. So we just kept turning off the thing, and so we could actually play the riff. Because it's got a little bit of that.
Yeah.
We like me and Jeremy, our mind, our heart, like just like wah, sync up, and we're just like, we know where the hang is, and like like we're doing, we see each other and we're like, yeah, man, and like then and we couldn't.
Right.
And he's like, well, let me see if I can fix it. And we did a bunch of takes, him moving the bar around and like trying to sort out things. Nothing worked. He's like, okay, you guys are right. We're just gonna turn the shit off when you get to that thing, and you guys just ride it out. And sure enough, first fucking take, we're just like, God damn, finally, damn. And it was like, it's the weirdest thing, but like, it's the most satisfying thing ever. Like to kind of find that unique hang. I don't know what else to say, but it's like maybe a partial bar or a micrometer or something, you know, that kind of happens, and then you flip it and start it again. So something special.
It's just that human element of it. It's like you could sit here and try to program the click to go exactly where you're going, or you could say, how about we don't dick around with this at all and just do it? You know, like, dude, there's a lot of times when I'm tracking stuff that I forget to turn the click on. And because I don't care, honestly, I don't care what the click is doing. If my drums are locked in, I don't care what the click is doing. I'm not even paying attention to it. So, and then you'll notice, like, if you were to actually have a song or a part and you have the click there and you're jamming with it, you start not vibing. You start paying attention, you know, and it's like that it's, you know, it's got its purposes and, like, you know, qualities for doing so, but ultimately I want to be like in the music, like focus is there, but not like when you got doop 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 doop, like when you're paying attention to that versus paying attention to it's like not the same thing, you know, because now it's like I gotta stay on this freaking pulsing, that's all I'm hearing, and it's like, okay, but what about the drums that you're actually syncing to right now, you know, like that's where it gets kind of interesting. So I would do both. You know, like when I'm just practicing, I probably would only practice with a click, you know, if it's just me. But if I have drums there, I might not even turn it on. Like, because that'll also give you a sense to have like your internal metronome, you know, where it's like, that's how you know your internal meter is locked. If you're playing with something and you got a little break, like a little 4-count break, and you have no click, and if you can come back in even close to where it is, your internal metronome's really good. And that's where I like that field to be, around there, you know.
That's cool. And it begs me to ask, like, because you're such on the stage, you're such a visceral, like, you know, kinetic person, because you're moving with the music and you're like, you got your own dance moves, right? Like the whole thing, right? So I'm curious, like when you're recording, do you kind of sit in front of the computer and do it, or do you have to, or do you allow yourself to like set up and kind of rock with it to try to find the right like vibe, or some sort of combination? Or
I think when I am doing recordings for myself by myself, I probably get a little more well, I guess I can't say it. I guess it really depends on the project. Like for the stuff that, you know, the solo stuff that we're releasing right now, I had an engineer and he was critical, and he would tell me like, you're not on right now, you're not locking right now. Like, so guitar and stuff, I didn't really pay very much attention to guitar. Like, I just wanted guitar to be visceral. I just wanted it to be violent, angry, aggressive. Now, drums, because I had to track the drums on this stuff. I had a drummer lined up. It was, I don't know, maybe 2 days before I'd left to drive out to the studio, the drummer couldn't do it. He's like, I can't get out of here to do it. So I was like, now what am I going to do? Talked to my engineer. He's like, well, we got a kit here. Just track it. And I was like, dude, I haven't played drums in like freaking 8 years or something. He's like, we're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. So go out there, set up the kit. And dude, this has never happened. I've only recorded drums on one other record for an entire record, and that was Danza 4. Now this one, you know, being in a room, kit set up, you know, I put the kit together exactly how I wanted it. And dude, I'm never going to forget this for the rest of my days. I was in there tracking the last song on this EP. And like, he's so awesome. Like, so I'm in here tracking, you know, my headphones are blasting, bro. I'm just trying to lock into this groove because it's got some interesting little accents around places. And I did like my first pass, and I'm just trying to get comfortable with physically playing the song. And then we're doing another pass now. Now I'm really getting in the pocket now. And I started feeling things. This is going back to the vibe of stuff, not playing things to be like precise and on or whatever. I started feeling things, and I was like, these accents started jumping out at me, and I just started throwing these accents, and randomly just during the take for no reason, I was like, no, I'm feeling this. I'm doing it. And dude, Chrys, I will never forget this. I'm tracking this shit, and he turns the lights down in the room and turns them red and brightens the room hot red. And, yo, he's in the control room screaming in the mic. He's like, yeah, screaming at me while I'm tracking these drums. Dude, I was like, at this point, I am so fired up now. I'm just throwing accents all over the place. It was the coolest experience I have ever had. And I'm tracking drums. I had never played drums on any of these songs. I just programmed it. I was like, send him to my drummer. He's gonna come out and track it. It's gonna be sick.
Damn.
And he's like, I can't. So now I'm like driving there, listening to the stuff. Like, okay, how am I? I'm trying to already put my limbs into motion, like I'm playing things, like, because that's what it's all about. Where does your body naturally want to go when you're doing all these things? And I've never played it before, so I'm like, I need to probably put this together. And dude, I'll never forget that day, like tracking that last song, and I'm just like feeling these things, and he just changed the whole lighting of the room. It was insane, bro.
So that take is on the album.
Yeah,
We got that take. That's what's that what's the name of that song?
That one is called All Out War.
Perfect. And so, and when is this EP gonna drop? Cause so that when people, do we know?
I think mid-March or something, maybe late March, something like that.
Okay. So we got about a month. Okay. Awesome. Well, that's sick. And there's gonna be another drop here real soon. Anyway, so
yeah, we got one next week, I think.
Yeah. Well, when this airs, it'll be a couple of days. So yeah, we'll air this next Wednesday on the 23rd. So today is probably the 23rd when this is released, and you're gonna be talking to Jeff Kiesel today, next week, and about joining the family. Right?
I like that. Today, next week.
Yeah, this is the week before. But it's actually today, so it's okay for you listeners to be confused. It's okay, it's all right.
Man, it's fine. We all know what's going on.
Yeah, and so to catch people up, like you and I hadn't even chatted for a while, dude. Like it was busy doing our different things, right? And I think it was Jesse Michelle that was like, "Oh, yo, dude, like, yeah, dude, I'll connect you with our artist relations guy." And then I happened,
it was so nuts, dude.
Bro, and I happened to be at Kiesel headquarters, which I'm only down there every couple of months. So work from home up here in Chico, and and he's like, "Hey man, Joshua Travis?" I'm like, "Yeah, oh yeah, dude, I haven't talked to him in a bit." He's like, "I think he might be interested in Kiesel," and I'm like, "No fucking way." All right, like that's like I'm like, I don't know if we'd but I immediately go, well, I gotta call him, but shit, like. We have no plans of making a 9-string, so I mean, but like let's call him, and so we catch up, and I was like, oh, dude, I mean, I would love to do it. Let's now that I know that you're in the market and it's the potential is here, let me talk to Jeff about it. And when I remember going back and him looking at me going, well, you just got to give me a good enough reason, man. Like, is this the guy? And I'm like, bro.
Right.
Joshua Travis is the 9-string guy. Like you look up the dictionary, it's like 9-string guitar has his face. And then there's some other dudes that tried it once, there's some other dudes that tried it twice even. But like nobody plays a 9-string like so often enough for anybody to like ever actually equate it with them. I mean, you got people that are out there making fun of genres and making 10-string, making 12, making like, you're like, whatever, dude, you're not playing the guitar. Like, stop it.
Right.
Good try. Stop it. Put it down.
Yeah.
Let Josh.
Yo, if you got a 9-string to play on the low string, why did you get a 9-string? Just tune it down. Like tune down whatever. Get a pitch shifter.
Thank you.
Like, what's the point?
You need a drop pedal, bro. That's what you need.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah. So, and Jeff was like, well, if he's the dude, then like we should try to make it happen. And I'm like, oh, that's sick. And Jesse's like, dude, I didn't think. I'm like, I know, I don't know, but hey, let's fuck it, you know. Jeff is stoked, man. He was like, he's like, give me a reason to make a dope 9-string. I'm like, well, this is,
Yep.
he's right here. This is the guy. He's the reason. So, you know, after some good chatting and figuring, you know, you checking out a handful of guitars and stuff, I'm super hyped that we get to show the world that, you know, Kiesel made a 9-string because of Josh Travis. That's what happened.
Dude.
That's what.
You know where I'm at with Kiesel already. You knew that I have a bunch of friends that have been playing Kiesel for years, and I had never gotten to get my hands on one, never. So I didn't know. It's like, yo, I don't know what all the hype's about. All I know is I have a bunch of homies that play them. Then I started meeting, you know, making new friends like Scott Carstairs, Justin McKinney, you know, and like, you know,
the dudes.
There's just like there's a handful of people that I watch, and I'm like, yo, obviously the guitars are sick. They are sick players, but are these guitars like cheat codes? Like, wait a minute, I want to know what's going on here. And like going back to how Jesse hooked us up, so. Chrys, for everybody listening, Chrys didn't give you the lowdown on how this really happened. Jesse tells Chrys that he talked to me. Chrys calls me up. I'm on my way to my mom's house, going to visit my mom and my little brother. Chrys calls me up. I see his name pop up on my phone. I was like, oh, shit, it's Chrys. I pick up the phone. Yo, what's up, Chrys? He's like, yo, what's up? You know, woo, woo, woo. We're chatting for like, I don't know, 20 minutes. And then finally we get to this point where I said, so what's up? And Chrys says to me, what you mean? What's up with you? What's up? I'm like, nothing. And he's like, so you want to try out one of our guitars? And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, you want to try a Kiesel? I'm like, wait a minute. Are you A&R? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, it was so crazy. Like, I thought Chrys was literally just calling because we haven't talked in for freaking ever. And we're sitting here chatting, and finally he says, yeah, so Jesse told me to give you a call. And I'm like, no way. You are not the dude.
I'm the dude.
And like, because he never told me. He was like, he never said, I'm going to have Chrys hit you up. He never said that. He just said, I'm going to have A&R hit you up. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, all right, there's no telling how this conversation is going to go. I'm ready for it. Here we go. And it was just so nuts. Then finding out that it was you, it was like, well, this is done. This is done. All right, great. And now, you know, after playing, you know, like you were saying, like a handful of these guitars, it's just kind of like, damn, now I see what all these people were talking about. And like, it's changed a lot for me with guitars. It's changed a lot, you know, and like what I was thinking guitars needed to have and why they needed to have them. Why did they need to be this scale? Why did they need to be these woods? Why did it need to have like these types of tops? Why did it need to have this finish? Like, all of these things are changing for me now, and like, which is great because, dude, I love learning more about all of this stuff because what we are doing is not like grabbing a standard guitar and just ripping on it. That's not what we're doing. And a lot of people call it like, you know, these are ERGs, which they are. Mm-hmm. But what we are doing is actually ERGR, which is extended range guitar research. Right. That's what we're actually doing. I've been doing this for many years, trying over and over and over and over, trying to get the right combination of everything to make it all make sense. But I think where I was making a pretty big mistake was that I was designing all of these things with only me in mind, only. And I don't think that's the way to go about it. I think it makes more sense to be something that basically anybody could play. Like, so for me, I have an extremely long wingspan, so I can reach really far out. If you're sitting on an instrument that does not have some kind of pretty deep bridge compensation, and then you put a 30-inch scale neck on this thing, you are reaching out into the future to tune this instrument. You're really reaching for it, okay? Like, even I was really reaching for it. It doesn't make sense. Like, if you have a smaller person that really wants to get into the tonal range of being able to go all the way from standard E all the way down to a bass register A and below, you really need to extend that scale pretty far and get some light strings on it, so now you're not butchering your sound. So we sat here and we went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, talking about all the different woods. What can we do to brighten this up? What can we do to create this sustain? Do we need to go neck through? Do we need to go bolt on? You know, do we need to use bright woods? Like, do we need to use something super dense? Like, okay, we got all that. Now we got to talk about scales. What if you're a really small person? You don't have a crazy reach. How long do we need to get to scale? How short could we keep to scale? So we literally sat here and did it all of it. And that's like, dude, this is like not normal. Like, you know, I'm not going to name names, but I have done custom builds with companies that were like, here's what we're going to do, and this is it. And they sent me the guitar, and it was like, it's cool. But it was never like, we need to do more research on this. It's not like, you can't just build and say, that's it. Like, no, we need to do the research on it. Like, what if we were to change this or change this or change this? Never got to do any of that until now, which has been so sick about this whole process, because we actually did the research behind it. And like, when everything got to me, it was like, all right, now here's all of this, do your homework. And, you know, what I hit up Jeff and I was like, all right, give me 2 days. And it took me like 12 days before I hit him back, because I had to sit with it. I had to sit with him. I wanted to really put all the guitars through the ringer. I wanted to see what really made sense. And, you know, they had to spend a lot of time tracking things with all of them, and then doing ABCs, then CBA, ACB, BC, AB, AC, BA. Like, sit here with everything, listen to it all. I can't tell you the amount of time I spent sitting with the guitars. Literally sitting with the guitars in my hands, just sitting. How does it feel? Like, did I feel like I was connecting with this thing, or did I feel like I had a guitar in my hands? You know, like, I know it sounds weird to say it, but that's how you create that relationship. Is like, if I was to put one of these guitars in my hands right now, it's gonna sit right here, and I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna lean in with it, and it's not gonna move. It's gonna lock right there with me, because we are already like unified now, and I know which one it is. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't a specific part on one of the other ones that I think we need to bring that into this one, you know, which we already did. We already went through all of these things, and it wasn't man, you've never even heard of a company doing this. You haven't. Nobody does this. Nobody's like, okay, let's build it. Build another one, though. You know what? Build one more, and let's do all these differently. Nobody does that. That's not a thing. You
Jeff
know,
was
like they build one, you know,
I'm building 3 guitars. I'm building 3. It's 3 different scale lengths, right? Like, because we got to know, we have to have the answer, right? That we're not going to just wing it and throw it out there. We want, that's what I was super excited about, was not only, you know, and Jeff does this with all the things he does, on some level, is he goes, oh, we're going to make one of those. Let me see if I can make it, you know, give people a reason to buy ours over somebody else's, right? Like, I don't want just to put it out there, because that's a business move, right? That's like, oh, everybody's selling a lot of Levi's, but we better put out some blue jeans. All right, you know, we got blue jeans we covered that category, right? Like, we don't want to do that, right? Because we can only that's the difference between us and a lot of other companies too, is we can't make an infinite amount of guitars every year. Like, we're actually confined to about 4,000 guitars a year. So because of that, because we're not trying to scale up, we're not trying to get a Chinese made model, you know, to come in at $899 or anything like that. We're not doing that thing. That it's imperative, especially with a guitar like this, that's so specialty, that's gonna, you know, the average person, if they're buying a 9-string, on some level they're committed, right? They've seen you play, you know, and they're very curious about, like, okay, you know, I already know about 8 strings. I already have a 7, maybe, whatever. But, and so to then graduate to the Big Daddy, and then for it to be like, oh man, they just farted it out, and it's just like basically an 8-string with an extra string, and they didn't even think about this, or they didn't sync the bridge. What? You know, that would be the worst move of all time, you know? So
absolutely. I know firsthand that that's not the way. That's not it.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have, I know you sent one of them back, and you have a couple of them there. Can you show us one? See. show it
You
off
wanna
to
see
the
one?
camera a little. Yeah. I know your light's a little dark, but I'm sure we can see something.
So
Oh my God.
this is the prototype
Oh.
of the real deal.
Yeah. Got that antique
So-
swamp ash. Oh, dude, look at that.
Yeah, this thing is literally insane. And I ain't gonna lie, like I had to take a picture of them when all three of them were sitting here. What? Look at this. Look at this. You see how it's just
Yeah.
like there's nothing. No, it's just I'm not even touching it right now. Hands free. Hands free.
Ooh,
You see how it's
the
just
balance. Yeah.
hands free.
I'm
like,
liking that.
It just does. It doesn't want to move. It wants to stay right here, and this is where she belongs. This is the first time anyone has ever seen this. I haven't been able to show anybody this ever. So
That's right.
can you imagine sitting here with all three of these things? Like, oh, I can't show.
The world has no
anyone.
idea.
Like, yeah, like no idea. So like, I've been sitting here like, all right. Me and Jeff been talking back and forth. I'm like, can I show anybody yet? He's like, no. Just wait. So finally now I'm being able to show him like the prototype, you know, like this is super exciting, and like the builders come together now, and like dude, have you seen it? Have you seen it yet?
Not the builder, no. I know not the builder version of the 9. But soon enough. Soon enough.
She's on there. You remember the ones that we actually sat here and did? She's on there now.
Yeah,
and
I'm excited.
When I go and look at it, I'm like,
you're like, that baby's that's gonna happen real soon.
Yo. Yeah, like these are the sickest guitars, like literally ever. Dude, I'm about to try to do something right now.
Yeah.
This is something that is completely unrelated to everything we have going on. But I'm a gamer nerd, right?
Yeah.
And I have never been able to get a PS5. I just was not able to get it. And I signed up for something with PlayStation or Sony or something that they said, we'll let you know when you can get one. And they just sent me this thing, and we're gonna see if we can get in here right now. We're gonna try to get in here. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're trying to get this thing. I don't know.
Is it like it's like you have to respond at a certain time type of thing to
get picked? Yes.
Okay.
Because it's like direct from them. So
man,
I don't know if I don't know if it's gonna work. Like we're going for it. But so now we have this thing trying to happen. I got baby girl sitting right here, and like, you know, and this also, you know, the pickups. That was another thing. That was like the last piece of the puzzle where it was like, okay, so what are we doing here? And I'm fairly certain that the thorium is gonna be the way. I'm fairly certain.
And the neck?
I think for the neck we'll do what is it called? I can't even keep up with all this.
Or oh no, there's the new neck version of the thorium pickup. I don't remember the name. Is that what? Because it was like the thorium set, though. I think, right?
I want to say it was. I'm pretty sure it was just the thorium and the bridge only, and then that was it. And then when we would do the, what the hell is it again? Why do I keep forgetting this? Yeah, and the
lithium was the one.
I'm pretty sure that's what
lithium was the original one that you were stoked on when the first couple of guitars I sent out, and we were like, "Oh, these has a thorium." Yeah,
right. One of the 9s has the thorium in it, and so your estimated wait time is more than an hour. We're working to get you in. Thank you for your patience. You will be let into our store shortly. PS5 consoles are now available, but are not guaranteed, even if you are in the queue. Okay, so we're gonna. Okay, well, hey, we're gonna try for it. It looks like we are in the queue, and we're doing this live. Like everybody, we might be able to get this PS5 today, but we might not. Whatever. We'll just see what happens. But yeah, I think that I am really leaning towards the thorium. Like, there was something about it that was like, I don't know. I don't want to use the word barbaric, but there was something that was just like bigger about it.
Mhm.
Something about it. And I really liked it a lot. So I think maybe this is where it got hairy. Whenever I have like a design, like I'm really feeling like a very specific sound and like sound design on a guitar, my tone is shaped around that sound. So that would mean that all of my guitars have to have those pickups in the bridge.
We can do it.
So,
Yeah.
well, after we get off this call, we're going to talk about some stuff.
Yeah, we'll send some stuff back and we'll pop them in,
Yep.
or we'll send some out to you and local tech and put them in, or what, one way or another, we'll make that happen. That's no problem.
Yeah. Dude, it sounded rad. I was really feeling that like a lot. It sounded really cool. So, but I think the smart thing would be to go like one at a time, because if I don't want to like put them in, half these guitars right now and be like, but the lithium, no, I don't want that. You know what I mean? I think we would just start it off at one, and just to be brutally honest, I have taken the Aries with the Evertune I took it up to my tech again just the other day, and he was kind of showing me how the individual saddles work and how to get them to adjust properly and how to tune it properly and how to dial in like the kind of like the Floyd, how you have like a fine tuner. He was showing me how to do that, and everything was awesome. Like I love that guitar. I mean, I don't want to give that guitar back ever, but I think I need something with a trim more than the Evertune. The Evertune, now that I've played a guitar that has an Evertune that's sick, now it's like I just wish it had a trim on it, because I love this guitar. Like, I love this guitar. I play this guitar every single day. That's
awesome. Yeah, Evertune is its own thing, man. And I think that it's worth having one around in your studio for tracking, especially in a tuning that you use a lot, right? So if you can have something sitting there that you can always like, you know what? I want this to be super clean and super precise, and I want to pick it up every time and it be there. For a lot of people, for somebody like you that has, a range of tunings, it's kind of a difficult, it's a cool product, but you're like, it's only going to be that one thing. So, all right. So if it's drop A Emmure, right? Like, cool. All right.
It's got to stay there. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have to think about it. And I know that I'm going to use that tuning a bunch with that project. Right. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Evertune is able to do in the future. I want to see Evertune for headless. I want to see an Evertune trim, of course. Like if they ever sort that out, I don't know if that's scientifically possible, but and then there's going to be the potential for Evertune fan fret, extended range in that way. I don't know. Those are the three categories that I'm like, what are you guys cooking up over there, and how soon can we have it?
Yeah.
Because those
one day I'll try it out. your multi-scale. One day I'll try it out. I am like very weird on multi-scales. Like, for somebody that plays the way I do multi-scale, it doesn't make sense. Just because there's no point in time my hand will ever lean this way. Yeah. Like, no matter what. And so for me, it doesn't like ergonomically, it doesn't make sense. But I'm going to try it. Like, we've come this far trying all of the things we have. It would make no sense for me to not at least try it just to see what it feels like. However, the one place you will not be pulling me is headless. You will not be able to make that happen. It won't happen. You see this thing? You see this thing right here? See this? Can you imagine if I was holding this up right now, but it looked like this? You can imagine it. You can imagine it.
But
me personally,
it's not as cool.
No,
it's not as
like,
come on.
Yeah, this is me and baby girl right here. Like, we're doing like, remember the glamour shots?
Yes. I want the faded. I want the other face over here looking down on you.
Yes, over here.
Or just the guitar headstock is looking down on you.
Yes.
But that is a sight to behold, though. The 5/4 headstock.
Yes.
5/4, and I think the ones that we're gonna do, the genuine ones, you like the headstock flipped 4/5, right? Where
it'll still be just like this, but it'll be reversed.
Yeah. So 4/5. So the 4 will be, and the point will go down just a little bit. Yeah.
I think it'll still be 5/4, just reversing here. No, I don't remember how we built this.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it was 5-on-4. I thought it was.
No, so that it is the way it is right now will be flipped, and the 5 will be on the bottom because it has the longer part of the tip. So
really,
there'll be it'll yeah. If you just flip it and look at it this way, that's how when we flip it, it'll look that way. Yeah, basically like basically like that.
I don't. How do you even remember this? I can't remember. But do you know
job,
how many
bro.
of these we
It's
went
my
back
job.
and forth building these?
I know.
We went back and forth a lot of times.
Way many times, so many times. But when that series of guitars that you're dreaming up comes to fruition, the world will have to be holes. You know, I want when you finally have all of them, 6, 7, 8, 9. All of them, when we finally get down to that point, I want to see you in some dope, like like Lord, like was it like not Lord of the Rings or like whatever it is, Game of Thrones type chair, with them all just like
with them
huddled around
right
you, yeah, all just like leaning up against you, and we'll get you, we'll get you all dressed up or something. I don't know. Can you plug that thing in for me?
You already let that cat out of the bag. I mean, can I plug this thing in for you? He says.
Yeah. Is that possible? You're a Twitch guy, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I am.
You know how these things
He says,
work.
"Can I plug this thing in for you?" Yeah, I guess I can get it to make a little noise. Give
me a little taste. Come on, give us a little taste. Just the tip, bro. Just the tip. I mean,
let me find one of these picks. There's something already. Hold on. I wasn't ready for all this. Okay, I didn't know you were gonna be like, all right, I need you to turn this thing on.
That's why we just fly by the seat of our pants. It's dangerous, bro. It's dangerous. Remember?
I love this. I'm only gonna give you the X Factor. I'm not turning on the boogie. I'm not doing it. You don't get everything here, okay?
No, I don't. I'll take that.
I might only give you a clean tone.
Ooh.
I might only give you a clean tone today. Like, what if I felt like being that guy?
We'll take what we can get.
What if I was like, all you get is this? Oh, what if I actually? What if I
end
just
of
gave
show.
You a little crunchy. All right, check this out. Listen to this thing.
Ooh.
Like, this thing it's absurd. And that's just like a little clean tone. Come on. Yeah, this thing is crazy.
I'm already scared, dog.
Let me see what this thing sounds like in here. Oh, we have an octave on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm already.
There we go. All right.
I'm glad I put
processing at all.
I'm wearing my diaper. I'm ready. Go for it.
It's not even that bad right now. I got everything. I got it turned down. It's just so. It feels so good. You get no string noise. You get no. Just. Oh, it's just so. Yeah, you don't need no more than that. This is turned down and no processing. Listen how it holds this low note.
And what's that tuned to? Is that like that's C sharp, right?
That's A.
Oh.
Yeah, this is R minor flat third.
Yeah. Dude.
Listen to how it holds this thing.
Hey, bro.
Listen to the sustain.
My stomach is rumbling from over here.
It's still going right now.
dude. And that's gated as fuck.
Look at this.
You have so much gate.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
look at this. Look at my hand.
Mm.
Are you kidding? All day. All day. We can just sit here and talk about it. Don't worry, all day. Don't worry, all day. This is fine. We'll be here all day. We're still in the queue for a PlayStation we're probably not going to get. Is she still ringing? This is fine. This is fine. Oh, wait.
Oh, that was...
Oh, she's still trying to poke back in there. Yeah, I just have, this thing is so just, it's just barbaric.
Can't wait to see it in full swing. And I know you got a video coming that will be released around your live with Jeff today, next week. And well, so I know you've probably told this a lot, but like just run us through the tuning that you have for your 9-string to give those that are super not really familiar, like why a 9-string, right?
Yeah, so one of my big things with this instrument and like where I was trying to take things was, if you think about an orchestral unit, you have sections, right? You have one section that really sticks to low things, one section that can get in the middle and kind of get high a little bit. Then you have like your higher or more lead-like sections. And so for me on this thing, my high section is like the top 4 strings. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got E flat, A flat, G, and then you got C. Now for my middle section, it starts again with a C. And then you got C, and then D and A. And now that first A there is like the top of the low section. So then you have A, D, A. So that all these bottom or these top 3, that's all your low section. Then starting up to here, your mid section, and then starting from here, your high section. So anytime I hit these 2 C's, I always try to think of those 2 C's as 2 people. And no matter what they're playing, if it's a wind instrument, a strung instrument, chances are they're both hitting to those same C's. They're never going to be perfect. They're always going to go like this, like no matter what. Even if they're in perfect C, as soon as they start playing, they're going to start going like this. So anytime I hit those 2 C's together, anywhere in that chord, the C's are going to be like, whoa, like way wide, because you have all this natural chorusing happening between those. And that's why I wanted them to be there, because I wanted it to feel like there was multiple people being on that phrase at that one time. So no matter what, as soon as you hit those 2 C's together, even if you only hit the 2 C's, they're constantly moving. Also, I should note that the first C is intended to be in a perfect C. The second C, which is the lower C, is actually tuned higher than the normal C is. So first C, natural, just perfect C. The next C down is actually 16 cents sharp. So even if I just hit the 2 C's together, hear how you have this natural chorusing type of thing. That's why you don't want to take the higher C. You don't want to take it too far, just enough that you start getting that little communication between the 2 C's. And so now you do a chord there. You see how those C's jump out like wah, like you really get big C's out of that. And then other than that, like I do a lot of octaves on this instrument, not a lot of chords unless it's up here. Other than that, if I'm using the low strings, chances are I'm doing a lot of octaves with those. And then I can also just jump up a set and then octaves all over the place. No matter what you're doing, like riff wise, it's like just octaves all over. If you want to get into chords, you can still do that if you want to. I don't generally do a lot of chords like that, but you could if you wanted to.
Now, is that
the
9th string is an A below drop A on a 7-string?
Yes. Like a drop A on a 7-string is here. And now we can go. Yeah, we drop it all. We drop it all the way down, and now you give them all the A's.
Holy shit!
It's just massive. It's huge. And like when I'm tracking, I do a lot of quad tracking. Now I'm not gonna get into all of the gems and the secrets that I do in the quad tracking, but just something like planting on all those A's and being, try to keep them all in that perfect A feel on the left side. And on the right side, I just pull it just a little. So now you got a slight dissonance happening only on the right side. So now when the right and the left side start to meet up, now again, we're doing this, And these are all organic things. We're not doing something weird with the gear to make it happen. And like how you could say, I could just take the C, and put a chorus on it and get that effect. Sure. But I can just put two C's right here and not need any of that. So now anytime I hit those two C's together, they're naturally chorusing. So, and then I have like this really weird, eerie, basically open type of chord up here. And so anywhere I use that, like, let's just say we... You know what I mean? Like it's already set for the destruction. It's already there. And that's like like using that whole clean thing, which is another thing I haven't really, I guess, exercised very much in the 9-string world, was clean stuff, because the guitars like didn't really produce it all that well. But this one, for some odd reason, like just the octave, right? There ain't nothing crazy going on here. Yeah, it's like it. And if I give you the, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
It's gorgeous,
just like
dude.
it's there for you. It sounds freaking awesome. This sounds, are you kidding? This is the same instrument that was just like, and now all of a sudden, now it sounds like this. It's like, dude, it's pretty sick to have such a wild instrument be able to go across the spectrum like this. And like I said, I've done other 9-string builds that are still awesome, but not like this. There's some like time and like love put into this thing already. That is why it, sounds like. That's why it sounds like that. Because certain things were like picked out to make all of these tonal characteristics come to life like they do. And this was like above my head and like sitting. Like, me and Jeff have sat for hours. Going back and forth this, and now I'm like, okay, but what about this? And he's not just like, no, trust me, he doesn't do that. He says, I'm gonna explain all this stuff to you, and then we'll start over and then go through them again, and then we get to that point and we're like, oh, what if we did this? And like then all of a sudden he's like, all right, 3 of them are on their way, sit with him, give me 48 hours. And I got him, and I was like, I'm gonna need more than that. I'm gonna need like 10 days. Give me 10 days. I'll be back. And he didn't even say anything. I didn't even tell him, give me 10 days. I just took 10 days. He never said a single thing. And I hit him up one day and he was like, yes! Like he was like screaming. Like it was just awesome. And this is, I end up having to like put it down because it's so easy to be able to sit here and just do this all day. Like, it's almost not fair that it sounds like this. It's almost not fair.
I want one now, man. Like, I mean, I wanted one. I have no business playing a 9-string, but I definitely want one.
Honestly,
like
you just nobody does. Nobody has any business playing one of these. But why not? Like, that's the whole thing about it, is like, you can look at it like it's a 9-string guitar. Like, what are you going to tune it in? I think they tune 9 strings like the standard tuning for it is like a C sharp type of a thing. And I don't whatever. That doesn't mean anything to me. When I first came up with the idea for a 9-string, it was 9 voices. That's all I see here. That's all I see on this instrument is the capability of 9 voices. So what do I want to do with them? Like, what is weird is that you can't just pick up one of my guitars and just play anything. Like any normal band. You couldn't pick up my guitar and play Pink Floyd. Can't do it.
Anyway,
like,
here's Wonderwall.
You couldn't pick it up and play. Yeah, exactly. Like you couldn't play that either. You can't. There's none. You can't play anything but the stuff that I have written in this tuning. So, which is like cool for me because it's like it makes you have to push, outside of your normal parameters. Now, at the same time, would it be cool to be able to pick this up and play anything? That could be cool. That could be cool because I mean, you just wouldn't be using any of the bottom 3 strings at all. Like you just wouldn't use them because the rest of them are just like, you would tune them like the standard guitar and then you just go lower and lower and lower and lower, that's still cool too. I mean, that's what I think is the beauty of something like this is you can do whatever you want with it. But I would try to urge anybody that was to play on something like this, make your own. Like there are no rules here. And like even, you want to be a super psycho? Tune all of the strings in one note. Just do them all like, I don't know, F. Like F, 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 and like have them be different octaves or whatever. Start messing with that chorusing effect, that natural chorusing. Like, dude, you know what kind of nonsense you can make with that? But who's doing that? Nobody.
Right.
Nobody, you've never seen anybody tune a guitar in all Fs,
No.
I want to see like even...
Makes me think of like stacked drop tunings, like because you got 3 sets of 3, so you could have, a drop tuning on your high, your middle, and your low, and have them be individual and be. I mean, I think it, in a lot of ways is making me think like, well, that's one of the things that's beautiful about open tunings on a classic acoustic guitar, right? Like why you hear. Like, I mean, the easiest one for me to think of is Ani DiFranco. Ani DiFranco, I mean, a complete like universe apart from your music, right? But you guys have a lot in common, like, believe it or not, right? Because she has, I was a guitar tech for her for 2 weeks. Like, I had back in the before EMG time made her a custom baritone guitar. She was always trying to get a handful of her regular guitars into a lower tuning. And none of it was really working. So we made her a specialized guitar. She loved it. And through that process of learning about all her guitars, she was like, you know what? My guitar tech can't do a couple of weeks. He's going to go work with Santana. You know all my guitars. Can you tune my guitars for a couple of weeks on the road? And I'm like, God, I'm like, I will do it. But you know that I'm not a guitar tech. Just know that ahead of time. I'll do my best. But when I got the gig, they sent me a PDF and they said, hey, print this out. It was it's like a special like little booklet that has all of her songs in alphabetical order with the tunings that she can play them in, right? And what guitars she prefers to play those tunings in, right? So and it was about 52 different alternate tunings. Okay. And she's got a couple hundred songs, at least, maybe hundreds of songs, but like, not all of them she plays live or whatever. And what was cool about it is that she would have like, oh, this song with both hands. Okay. It's like, it's this tuning on this guitar, but it's this tuning on this guitar. Right. So she's doing, an open tuning here, and all of them are alternate. All of them. I mean, every once in a while she'll like give me a standard tuning guitar, and she'll play some stuff. But the creativity that it sparks, right, is when stuff is not where you expect it to be, forces you out of that box, forces you out. There's no pentatonic fucking 1 scale or 5 scale to like be beholden to get stuck in. You have to carve a new path, and that's so I'm looking forward to seeing who and does what with these guitars, right? Based on me too.
Dude. Like it'll be so cool to finally have like an instrument that is like what I feel is right. Like this one has been like tried and tested and now to be able to see like what's somebody gonna do with it. Like I can't wait to see that. Like you see what I do with it. Like I mean, yeah, you can put it in my tuning if you like, but I'd rather see what you do with it. Like no, there's no rules here, and please, whatever you do, don't tune it normal. Whatever you do, please don't do that. That's so like okay, well, I guess that's cool, but I want to see somebody get creative with the thing, like rather than just always treating it like everybody else does. Like
If you're
it's just
gonna
still
do it,
cool.
if you're gonna do it standard, you better be a jazz master, and you better be doing like cool bass leading lines. And what? Did you get it?
I don't know what just happened. I guess you didn't hear that, but
No, I heard something.
bing, bing, bing. I don't know what that meant. It is your turn. Thank you for waiting. You are now being redirected to
Ooh.
directplaystation.com.
Oh,
What's that
shit.
mean?
They say,
Does that mean
give us your money?
is that what they're gonna say? Because if that's what they say, they can have it.
And they can have it.
This
I
is
will
crazy.
double tap.
Yeah, we're gonna
Buy
see
it
what
now.
happens. We're gonna see what happens. It says that it's redirecting me, but nothing is happening. Thank you for waiting. You are being redirected. I haven't been redirected yet. All it says is it's your turn. Oh wait, something's happening.
Yes.
Hold on. Let's see what's happening. And you know what? If this happens, it's because we were on here. I had baby girl in my hand still.
Uh-huh.
Wait, here we go. What is it saying? What is it saying? We're doing it. Give me which one would you get? Would you get the one that takes a disc or the one that's only digital? I always feel like I should do the disc.
I think I would do a disc too. You can do. I mean, the disc can do both, right? So
Yeah.
definitely get a disc.
All
Because you
right,
never know when you want to pop a DVD in. You never. I mean,
Yep, exactly.
although I haven't even saying the letters DVD sounds weird, but like
All
back
right,
in my
and
day,
then-
we had to
then
go
here's
down to the
this.
store and pick out a Blu-ray. We had
Right.
to
Right. All right,
uphill the snow both ways.
Let me tell this thing. Yeah, it looks like we're good.
Mm.
I think that we got it. I think.
PS5 achievement unlocked.
Come on, go to checkout. Go to checkout. Do it. It's fine. Just do it. What? What is all this? Standard shipping. Express shipping.
We'll charge you 200
for free.
Oh, for free? For express
Here we go.
shipping?
Yeah. Let's see what happens. Let's just see.
That doesn't happen.
I know.
Jesus.
We're going to go through this process. We're just going to see what happens. Yeah, you've never seen me type so fast. What is my address? I don't have an address.
1, 2, 3, 4. 9-string lane.
9-string lane or add. Wait. No, I don't live in Texas. I promise.
Not recently, anyway.
Yeah.
Not this
Okay.
lifetime.
Are you seeing me? Yes. Here we go. Yes. That's one. Mm-hmm. Here we go. And are we good? Yeah. Don't save any of this. Just buy it. Do it. Yes. Do it. Buy it. Come on. Do any? Oh, okay. All right, we're almost there. I've only been waiting for this forever.
What's the first thing you're going to play on this PS5?
Probably, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not a gamer, so I wouldn't know, what would be the hot shit. Some sort
Probably Spider-Man. I feel like Spider-Man would be a good one.
Okay. That last
are we all good?
Spider-Man was pretty dope.
Yes. So
I'm looking forward to that new one. Or
let's see if this works. Please.
it's the new Doctor Strange that I'm excited about.
Did I miss anything? Are we good? There's my address. Yes, you got all my info. Express shipping for free, and place the order. Come on, give me it. Don't play with my emotions. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, I just want everybody to know we got it. I know you're not going to
PS5.
hear this until it's in the future, so maybe when we go live with Jeff, maybe we can talk about how it's here now.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
Cool. I've been waiting for this for a long time. We finally got it.
Sick, dude. Congratulations.
Thank
And
you.
the 9 looks dope. It sounds dope. Maybe tell us a little bit about what you as a this is the question I had thought of this morning, because the music you make is like predominantly aggressive and warlike. All right.
Mhm.
Like just stomping through the fields and slaying thy enemies, right? Type of shit. What do you listen to calm the savage beast within? Like,
Dang it, I wish I could show you what has been playing in the background this whole time. There's no way for me to stream that audio into here. But if it's something that you can do, hell, I could even send it to you in like a text or something. But this thing that I generally, when I'm just chilling, I'm not having to work on anything yet. The song is called Wanderlust. Maybe.
okay.
And it's by, the name is Schiller, Schiller. And it looks like two hands in gold. That's how you know you're looking at the right thing.
Okay.
But I don't know what kind of music you call this. It's just, you have to hear it and you'd have to tell me. But it is like, there's no drums, no guitars, no bass. Most of the time there's no vocals. It's just sound.
Like ambient, like,
yes, very much that.
okay.
And like, honestly, I don't listen to heavy stuff at all. Mainly because I spend a lot of time writing, and it's easy for me to get so excited and maybe inspired by any of these other bands or artists that whether or not I wanted it to, I could start sounding like them. And that's the one thing I don't ever want to do. Like,
Sure.
Like on my Twitch, like every Friday, people like submit stuff for us to all check out together. And man, there's always like a lot of stuff that's like, damn. And I'm just happy that it exists out there. But when I'm just chilling, doing my own thing, that's not what I listen to. I listen to soft stuff or something that makes me want to dance. Like, that's it. That's it. Now, when it comes to me and having my weapons of choice in my hand, it's wartime. That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So what makes Joshua Travis dance? Like, give me a couple of examples. Do you have like a genre or even an artist, or do you listen to hip hop and pop, or
a lot of hip hop? There is an artist that I just found the other day. I'm not going to say her name right. I have no idea how to say it, but it looks like Priya Ragu is what it looks like. And
okay.
I found, you know what? I find a lot of music from TV shows, like Netflix shows and stuff. I find a lot of songs, like I'll be watching a show and then all of a sudden this song comes on in the show and I'm like, where's my phone? I get my phone out, I turn on the Shazam thing on my phone and it tells me what is playing in the show. And I find a lot of stuff like that. And I found her like that. And yo, it's just the thing you have to listen to, and you will, because I know you. And when it gets to the end of this song, the way that she changed the song up, and it's like it goes from like this like kind of dance-ish, pop-ish kind of not like rap so much, but it kind of lives in that world as well. And all of a sudden it flips to something that is like something that sounds like it's derived from her culture, but with this other sound with it. And dude, it is so sick. Like,
okay.
I listen to this. That's my problem, is I'll listen to this stuff on repeat like it's nobody's business. Like, that's the only song that's out right now. Like, I listen to stuff like that. Like,
Okay.
if I really like it, I like it probably too much. And like, that song is like one that's like, it just do the vibe of it, like, and the way that they shifted it at the end, it's like not something that you hear very often. I don't even know if I had heard anything like that, and just out of nowhere it was like, oh my god, am I hearing what I'm hearing right now? And when I'm talking about the culture thing, if you listen to this song, it's called Good Love 2.0. If you listen to this song, you're gonna hear it at the end of it where it just shifts, and like, oh man, it's like you feel it in your soul, bro. You feel it,
And
but
how do
it's
you
still got this vibe to it. It's so cool.
How do you
But
spell
her
her first name?
Priya,
Okay.
and last name is Ragu.
Okay.
Gotta
man.
check this out. The whole end of that, the whole song, it's just like a bounce the whole time. You can't, if you listen to this song and you don't dance, I don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. That means
dude.
we're not, anyone that's listening to this, if you check out this song and you don't dance while you listen to it, I don't know what's going on with you. I don't know what's going on with you.
This is why we're friends. This is like, because
Yeah.
I love the heavy music myself as well, and I do write. I don't really write super heavy anything anymore, but I'm always in awe of it, and I have friends that are just all metal all the time, right?
Mhm.
And they are always like, bro, the new this one. I'm like, yeah. I mean, when the new Dream Theater dropped, I was like, oh shit, they put out a really good record, so I listened to that for a while. New Trivium dropped, and I didn't hear it. I couldn't hear it the first time. I was like, I don't know if it's any good, you know. And then my metal buddy was like, no, dude, I listened to it like the third time and it's sick. It comes into its own. I'm like, and then you know, so I'll get on these trips, but most of my time is spent listening to music that's more soothing, right? Like somehow either makes me want to dance, it's uplifting, or it's calming me, right? Because life is so hectic and life has been like its own kind of horror show, you know, and you know, it's the last few years just like figuring out like how do we exist with this new situation, right? Like how do I continue to feel free and creative when I'm not as free maybe in some ways that I was, you know. And so I teach yoga, right? So like I'm making playlists for kind of a wide group of people, like, and I have different classes get different kinds of playlists, but my main class on Sundays is a lot of ambient music usually, and sometimes I'll pick one or two long ambient tracks that just set a tone, you know. It's in the background. So
this Wanderlust thing that I told you about by Schiller, I can't wait for you to turn that on.
I wrote that one down too. Yeah.
I can't wait for you to turn that on. I guarantee you, as soon as you hear it, I can like see you like hitting meditative state in seconds just from hearing this, because I have never been able to figure out how to get there, but listening to this sounds like that's what it feels like.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I hear that thing, it's like it puts you somewhere else, and you're just like, it's like the most interesting. That's what it feels like. Like everything is just okay. All right, here we are. No, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just. That's what it sounds like. It feels like. So I'm really stoked for you to hear that thing, and then you have to tell me what you think of that, because I listen to it all the time. Like this whole thing, it's been on the whole time.
Cool.
When I'm just like chilling or just like working on something or restringing, like that's what's playing.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's not to be understated that music sets the tone, right? And so like, and I think when I was much younger, that, you know, I didn't understand how older people or people that weren't into like heavier music couldn't like get it somehow, but it was so abrasive to them, and I was a little bit numb to like that quality of the music and, you know, what it was doing. Like I remember playing some early song that I had made for my grandmother, and she was like, "It sounds like you're in hell and you can't get out." And I was like, whoa. And then looking back at that was my early 20s, and how confused and like kind of lost and just experimenting, flailing in life, you know, couldn't hold down a good job, was quitting jobs all the time, you know, just wanted to like get stoned, do drugs, and like not worry about stuff, right? And then as I've matured, as I've adopted more of like a regimen and practice in my life and all that stuff, I've become more and more sensitive to the tone of words and the way the music sits. And that's why, like, I think most of my time is spent with more soothing styles of music because of that, right? Because I'm like tuned into it. I'm like, I'm more, I don't know, I'm more sensitive to the vibrational quality and how something's being framed. And my own nervous system, I'm more aware of that. And so I appreciate the suggestions, because I'm always looking for stuff to enhance the vibe.
Yeah, I'm 100% the same way. Like even all the way down to like the TV shows that I watch now. Like I'm not going to give away any spoilers for anybody, but I will say this: like one of my favorite shows has been this show called Ozark, and yeah, like I've been like a super fan of that show ever since it popped off. Very recently, they just released like the first. I'm assuming it's the first half of season 4, and there was a pretty big gap between the end of season 3 and when season 4 launched. And when I started watching season 4, granted it's at a high intensity in the show, it was almost too stressful for me. Like
Whoa.
when I'm watching it and it's just like this sits like way too heavy. Like I don't even know if I can like handle this right now. And I'm talking about a TV show. This is not something happening in my life.
Right.
But just watching this happen was just like, like I don't know if I can handle this right now. And then as soon as I turn that off, I got to turn on something that's like, okay, center me again, because dang, like that was just so heavy, you know. And
Dude,
so like, yeah,
that's
like,
me
these
when
types of sounds
when I
help
watch
a
Black
lot.
Mirror. I love the Black Mirror
Yeah.
series, but like I would try to watch it in the daytime and then like have like some sort of Buddhist meditation or some sort of talk that comes on afterwards that like brings me back to reality.
Yeah.
Do you watch horror flicks at all? Are you into like, or does that
Not
affect you kind of?
really.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I'll tell you this, in a horror flick, we all know when something's about to happen. Because they set you up for it no matter what. I'm the guy that when you know it's coming, I'm the guy that does this.
Yeah.
And then it goes, "Rah!" And I'm like, okay, now we're good. Now I can look. But like when you know it's about to happen, like if I can't do this because like I'm with people or like I'm on a hot date or something, I don't want her to see me get scared, so I go. I do one of those and then wait for the moment, and then I'm like, oh, okay. Like, but I know I can't handle that anymore. Like I don't need that. Like I just don't. Black Mirror was different. Black Mirror was, first off, incredible. Like it's all incredible. That first episode, whoa.
Right?
Whoa. That one was like, okay, guys, we gotta chill out. Like that was a lot. That was a hell of an entrance for a show. Like yikes.
Yeah.
So, but
Gnarly.
awesome still. But nothing about that show ever made me feel like that I needed to do this. I never had to do that, which I did like that. Some of the episodes later, like when they kept moving forward, some of them started getting a little spooky every now and then. But nothing that took me to the point where I needed to do this. Like the one with the eyes and like the, you know, I don't want to give away stuff in case you haven't seen it. But that was incredible to me. That was incredible.
So cool.
I loved that.
The thing about that type of movie or the programming, I guess, you know, series and storytelling is that to me, it's more interesting because it's 1 or 2 degrees off from where we're at. Okay. And technically, I also can't handle like visual gruesomeness. Like I could handle it, but I don't like to ingest such things, right? Like it just feels dirty to do that. And because I'm sensitive, I would like I'd rather program my cells with positivity and like, you know, sweetness, right? Because I want to be a part of the world and I want to be a good actor, you know, in this story we're telling. But Black Mirror is one of those types of things where it's like almost like maybe they shouldn't even make these things because they're so good and they and like because it's like 1984. George Orwell in the late 40s was writing about like where we're way past a thing, right? And so in some ways it's like when an author or an artist, you know, has visions of the future, it's almost like, shut the fuck up, bro, don't tell that story, okay? Because the people that got money influence, they see it as a playbook and they're like, oh, we didn't think about making micro bees with cameras in their eyes. You know what, we actually you know what, you got those fucking micro lenses, oh, we got those microchips. Dude, we got micro bees fucking now, like rolling around infected. Like, I mean, that's the type of shit that is actually truly scary to me. Cause like, I know that you're not killing people when you show me you're killing people, but when crazy ideas like that there was one of those things where they had what do they do? There was like the person wakes up and they're confused and they don't know what's going on, and they're trying to get away from these kind of zombie looking people or whatever. And you in the end you kind of find out, I'm spoiler alert, you kind of find out that these were criminals that had done something wrong, and they gave them amnesia. And so and so they have to,
God, that
was and then fucked with them. You're like, oh bro, like talk about a prison sentence of sorts.
and then here we go again. And then here we go again.
Yeah.
And then here we go again. Oh, bro. Why did you even just remind me of that one?
Sorry, dude. I know that one's rough, dude. It's so rough.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like, God.
Yeah.
But hey, what was I say? Is what an awesome show. Like, they freaking knocked that. They knocked that out of the park. Like, they killed that. I'm not even leaving this screen. It just says order placed successfully. I'm not leaving this screen.
Just
not doing it.
You gotta fucking screen capture that. Make it as
I'm a Mac guy, right? And I don't even know how to print screens on a Mac, and I'm on my PC to do this, and I'm not touching nothing. I'm gonna take out my phone. I'm gonna take a picture of it, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Dude, I think I figured it out. It's like, isn't it Shift Command 3 is a print screen, or like a screen capture on your Mac?
Oh, that's a Mac. Okay.
It's Shift Command. Let me just do it right now. Yep. Shift Command 3. Yeah.
See, I don't ever need to take a picture on the Mac. I only ever need to do it on the PC. And somebody told me to use something called snipping tool. And that's all I ever remember. And I know if I hit the Windows key and then hit the letter S, it's going to come up immediately because I had to type it once. But even though I just said it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'm going to take a picture of this with my phone.
As you should. My bro, dude. Josh, thank you so much for taking the time out. It's almost been 2 hours that we've been chatting it up and going through all of our things, man. And I love and adore you as a person. And thank you so much,
bro. Hell yeah.
For your time today, but also like just the high level at which you collaborate. So that's been a pleasure for both me and Jeff on this project, and we really are excited about the future of having you and the Kiesel family, and for giving us a reason to do something super cool. And
man.
dude, it's all gravy from here, dude. We're gonna have a good time, and some people are gonna like pick these instruments up and make some interesting things. I have a good feeling about that.
I'm stoked to see it all, and like I've told Jeff like 95 times, like I keep like when these guitars showed up at my house, I was like, yo, this is like really happening. And when I opened the first one and took it out, I was like, oh my God. And I looked back behind me and there was 2 more boxes still not even open yet. And I'm like, yo, this is happening. This is happening like on the realest scale right now. Like this is really happening. And then taking them all out, I have them all sitting on the couch, like sitting like a little happy family on the couch, taking pictures of these things on my couch. Like like knowing I can't show anybody any of this, and I'm sitting here looking at them. Oh, I will. And it was just like, oh, dude, this is like, it's always one thing when we're sitting here talking about all the ideas, but like we did talk about all these ideas. We talked about these, and like now I'm holding them all, and these are the prototypes. That's what this is. This is like how we get to the real deal. And like, dude, like being a part of this, man, I don't have the words for it because it's just like, I wasn't even going to tell you this. I somehow or another slipped and damn near told Jeff. I was like, when I had them all out, I was hanging out with my girl, and like, I damn near had like a tear in my eye about it. I was like, I can't believe they're actually doing this. And it was like, it'd be one thing if you were just doing it, but it's like, they're doing this because of me. And then I'm sitting here like, whoa, this is nuts. Like, this is like crazy, crazy, crazy nuts. And like, man, it brought a tear to my eye. I had to like get my composure. I was like, I don't cry. Nobody makes me cry my own tears. Like I had to like beef it back up. I was like, dang, like it was just a lot, man. It's a lot to freaking hang on to, but I couldn't be more stoked.
I'm so happy for that. And might I add, I'm so happy that it didn't take us 6 months.
Yeah.
Bro, it didn't take us 3 months.
No.
It took us about 2 months. About 2 months.
It's a little less than that.
A little less than that. I mean, you and I talked about it for a couple of months, but then by the time we said, okay, we're doing this, it's been a little less than 2 months that when we're ready and we're aimed and we're focused. I mean, that's the thing about Jeff. He always tells me, he's like, man, I'm your top fuel dragster, man. Give me the goodest reason to do something, and I will sort it out. And he's not wrong, man. Like he definitely, and when he got hyped and he was like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to send you 3. We're going to do the thing, right? Like we've got, there's no way around it. We have to build 3 to know about the pickups, to know about the woods, and to know about the scale length. We want to get that right. So,
and wait till they hear about the pickups. We're not even going to talk about that right now, but wait till they hear about the pickups.
It's not clear yet.
Yeah. God. It's clear now. We know what's going on. We know.
Right. But it'll get launched. Everybody's going to know. It's going to, as of today, next week, it should be on the builder, ready to go. You can go build your 9-string right now. So if you're watching this on Wednesday, the 23rd or after of what is it, February? 2022. Yeah, then you'll be able to build up a 9-string with all kinds of cool 9-string Aries. And man. So put some comments down below about what you think, what kind of tuning you'd use on your 9-string. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, tell me the tuning.
What are the ideas?
Send it to me specifically. Yeah, I want to steal it. I'm going to steal your tuning.
Exactly. I'm like, give Josh more ideas, so we have to make him more 9-strings.
Yes.
Crazy tunings. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And that's another thing to point out. Whenever you see me with all these guitars, understand it's only because I have 85 tunings. That's why I have to have so many freaking guitars.
That's the real number, 85?
It's not really that, but we're going to tell Jeff, I have 85 tunings, so I'm going to need at least 85
You heard me
guitars.
say 52 tunings from Monty to Frankie. You're like, I got to go like 30
I got to
higher.
go way. Yeah, I definitely got to go higher than that.
I love it, man. I love it,
bro. Thanks again,
dude,
bro.
Yeah. Happy day to you, man. And we'll be connecting real soon about all the things. And just thank you for all.
Of course, bro. No, thank you.
My pleasure.
All
right, man. Have a good one. I'll talk to you soon, Josh.
All right, brother. Be easy.
Peace.
Later.
Players Pick Podcast, Picks and Perspective with Chrys Johnson. Pool table.
Players Pick Podcast is brought to you in part by our good friends at Dunlop Guitar Products, Kiesel Custom Guitars, and our favorite new coffee company, Road Roaster Coffee. Use coupon code PLAYERSPICK for 20% off your first order at roadroastercoffee.com.